When can we come with a serious movement to our government to cut all political, financial, economical, military relationship with this fascist and Zionist state?
The level of British support for Israel is quite absurd. I'll give you just one example. There is the 2030 UK-Israel agreement, but there are three items which are quite extraordinary. It says the UK government will oppose the referral of Israel to the International Criminal Court. What business does Britain have to interfere with the independence of the ICC? And secondly, it says the UK government would oppose and work against BDS in this country. BDS is a global grassroots movement. It's non-violent. I emphasize non-violent, and all its main demands are enshrined in international law. So what business does the British government have to work against BDS and to criminalize BDS? And thirdly, and this is perhaps the most bizarre, it says the UK government would work against an excessive focus on Israel at the United Nations. It's Israel that causes the excessive, in my view, not excessive attention of the UN, and yet this is how totally uncritical the Conservative government had been through 14 years in power. But the present government, and particularly Starmer, is no better. Starmer defined himself as a Zionist without qualification. No politician should be without qualification about anything. So he doesn't hold Israel to the same standards that he should hold everyone else. So his support for Israel is uncritical and unqualified. It's not conditional on Israel respecting Palestinian human rights or international law. And then there is David Lammy, who was asked, is Israel guilty of genocide? And he said, no. Genocide is a legal concept, and we have to wait for a court of law to pronounce, where he's flat wrong. Genocide doesn't need to wait for a court of law to pronounce. We know that Israel is committing genocide, and in any case, the ICJ has come very close to saying that Israel is committing genocide. So here is another example of a British politician who is also a lawyer, and yet when it comes to Israel, he makes an exception, and it's this Israeli exceptionalism that is the source of all the problems we've been discussing.
Every imperialist state, every settler colonial at this stage gets more and more violent, but eventually it will implode upon itself. Are we getting anywhere close to that?
Israel is on the road to fascism. It's not a fully fledged fascist state. The present Israeli government was democratically elected, but so was the Nazi party in Germany, so was the fascist party in Italy. So the fact that a government is democratically elected doesn't mean that it goes on to behave like a fascist state. And Israel today has many of the characteristics of fascism. The belief that might is right, the reliance of militarism, unbridled militarism, total indifference to international law, total indifference to world public opinion. This kind of behavior wouldn't be tolerated in any other country. For the last 25 years, there's been a shift to the right, and this government is representative of Israeli public opinion. It's some more extreme in many cases, but it is representative of Israeli public opinion. And Israel, since the beginning, benefited hugely from international sympathy and support because it was supposedly an island of democracy in a sea of authoritarianism. It most clearly, most emphatically, isn't a democracy today. It's an apartheid state, and therefore it's bound to lose international support.